everyone, and welcome to the studios here at Culpeper Media Network. And of course, it's that time again for our State Theater Spotlight. Joining us is actually, hold on one second. We have to do a little fix-up here. You are no longer the Events and Outreach Coordinator.
I am not.
But you are now the Executive Director of the State Theater.
That I am.
First off, congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Stephen, how are you? It's been a little while since I've seen you.
I'm doing well. I am doing very well.
I think that's the answer an executive director gives when he's working 8 days a week, 15 hours a day.
Pretty much. Absolutely.
Well, we have a lot to get to. Last time we were in here was before Christmas, and
Absolutely.
here we are in February. Basically, first off, before we get started into what's going on now and in the future, kind of want to backtrack a little bit.
Absolutely.
You guys, the State Theater has done a fantastic job wrapping up things for last year. But since there's been a lot of changes with the State Theater. But first off, I want to go back and talk about the end of year. Obviously, you had the fundraising goal of $400,000. You ended up not raising as much as you had hoped.
Absolutely.
But still raised a considerable amount of money from this community. Talk to us about that process, how it finished, and where we're at right now.
Well, with the Save the State campaign, we were able to, at the end, raise $250,000 in 6 weeks, which, according to all the fundraising professionals I'm now talking to, is apparently a miracle. Some very well-meaning people came in at the end, allowed us to reach that benchmark so that we could, as we've announced, gone dark in January, restructured the organization, and started reprogramming. We are by no means done for our fundraising for 2016, but we're very thankful that we do have a new development team led by Amy Bowling, who's coming in to help us make up the difference for 2016 and get started on 2017 now, so that the State Theater will achieve that sustainable part of its mission statement.
Well, and you touched on it, and we're going to talk a little bit some of the new things this year. But getting back, as we're looking back, I really want to applaud you and the State Theater for the amount of transparency that was evident in the entire process. I mean, there was Facebook, letters to the editor, articles explaining each and every step of the way as you guys went through it. And I'd like to applaud you guys for that.
Thank you. That's absolutely part of who we are. I'm personally an Eagle Scout, so trustworthy is the first part of my law. But it is an ongoing effort with the State Theater that we are having an honest dialogue with our patrons to let them know what's going on from now on and to get their feedback. It's not just about us talking to them, it's about all of our patrons, our public, and I shouldn't say patrons, it's the entire community, talking to us so that we are aware of what they want to see. We will have equally candid conversations of what we're able to do. And it's going to be a very slow process, but we will be building the State Theater up to what I believe it's always been promised to be, which is a regional arts center for Culpeper and the surrounding counties. Well,
you make a good point, building that relationship, and of course, a lot of that is done through communication.
Absolutely.
So as we're talking about this now, when we have the opportunity, folks are looking to get in contact with you, the theater. There's a multitude of avenues to approach you guys. Can I want to go through those?
Sure. There's always calling our box office, which is 829-0293. Take that back. Calling our box office at 829-0292. During the week, you'll either be able to leave a message or you'll get on the phone Stacy March, who's our box office associate. She's been with us since the beginning, and she's always that wonderful voice to hear at the end of the other line. So she'll be there to help you out. If you want to get in touch with any of the other staff members, it's 829-0293. We list all of our extensions in that message, so you'll be able to call us. If you want to just send us a suggestion, you can send to info, I-N-F-O, at culpepertheater.org. You can send something to events, if you have another suggestion, events at culpepertheater.org. And then any of the staff members, shortly we'll be listing all of those contacts on our website. And you'll be able to, if you want to specifically reach out to myself or Amy Bowling or our production manager, Dan Wilderman, or our customer relations manager, Felicia Williman. All of our emails will be there for you to send us a message.
Stephen, as we were talking earlier about the Save the State campaign, as we look at the success of that campaign moving forward, is there any final thoughts you have towards the end of last year?
Well, I think the most important thought we have at the State Theater is that we're thankful. We are so thankful we get to move forward. So I'd like to say actually to Culpeper and all the other donors out there who gave, thank you. We're going to do our best by our intentions to make the State Theater the premier venue of the Virginia Piedmont. And if there's anyone out there who is still interested and looking to make that contribution and make sure that it makes a difference, please reach out to us at the State Theater and help us finish that gap for our fundraising efforts for this year.
Well, again, last year we had your fundraising goal, and this year we have yet another fundraising goal.
Absolutely.
And getting that mission done this year is going to involve a few new people.
It does.
There have been some quite a few changes.
Absolutely.
Yourself
Absolutely.
Is one example, but you have a lot of personnel, volunteers and staff. If you could introduce us really quickly to those persons.
Well, very quickly, before we even do that, I wouldn't be here. And if it wasn't for literally Andy Waters and Jody Stone, who have both been at the State Theater, Jody since the beginning, and Andy, I believe, at least the last 2 years. They have moved on to better things. We're excited for them. But I do want to take the time to note that the current State Theater staff would not be here if it wasn't for the efforts of everyone who came before us. So we do thank all those folks for keeping the fires burning, as it were, or maybe the stage lights burning, so the current staff could come in and take the State Theater even further than they had previously. So.
Well, it's another way to look at that State Theater Foundation. There's been one heck of a foundation set, and here we are building on it in 2016.
Absolutely. So getting to new staff. First and foremost, everybody's heard this one, but Amy Bowling is coming on board. She's a fantastic development director, associated with the hospital and the Powell Wellness Center for a long time. She knows what she's doing. It's very fun to be in the office because I'm teaching her a lot about the arts and she's teaching me a lot about fundraising. So I think we're going to work out as a really good pair. On her team, we actually have also Laura Loveday, who is a grant writer, and Denise Maybe, who is our new membership coordinator. Both of those are volunteer positions. They're individuals that step forward to say, we're willing to give 10, 15 hours of a week for free to help the State Theater be successful. So we absolutely wouldn't be in the place we're in for success if it wasn't for those two ladies stepping forward to offer their talents. And I can tell you, they're firecrackers. I come into the office and they're already working, and I just calmly walk to my desk and know that they're doing the best, not only by the State Theater but by the entire region to help us build this regional arts center.
Oh. So any other personnel inside the studio?
We do. Coming back to the State Theater is someone who's a familiar face, Felicia Williman. She was previously the executive assistant when the building was being built, and then she was one of our house managers. She is now the customer relations manager. She oversees concessions, volunteers, and box office and hospitality. And she's doing that all while raising a 2-year-old. So it's fantastic. And we're very thankful to have her back on board. She brings a lot of history of the organization to us. So I can always have these moments where I look at her and say, Felicia, how did we do that? She goes, that's how we did that. And we go, oh, okay. So we have that institutional knowledge, luckily, in place. And then also on board, as I mentioned, Mr. Waters, Andy Waters, has left to pursue further avenues in his career. And we're very excited to bring on Dan Wilderman, who actually has been with the State Theater almost since the beginning as a technician backstage. He's a great guy, really bringing a new spirit of customer service to the backstage portion. He'll also be in charge of rentals. So, we have a whole staff ready to go. I'm going through my head we have a lot of new volunteers at the space as well. And really, it's just a fantastic place to jump on board. One of our volunteers that's amazing is a woman named Tara Moylan. She's coming in sort of as our administrative assistant and field trip coordinator. Again, volunteer hours, just to learn what it is like to be in an arts organization. And I actually probably couldn't do a lot of that without her. She's keeping my desk and other things organized. And on top of that, we actually also have Kelly Ward, who stepped in as our operations manager. She's taken over the financial aspects of the organization, working with me, making sure our budgets are in line and our spending is in budget, and coordinating all of those fun aspects that come when you have to run a performing arts venue.
Well, this is wonderful, and with this new personnel in place, and one of the other things you mentioned specifically were the amount of volunteers coming in. As we spoke about when you were fundraising last year, it's not always writing a check. It's coming in and doing duties at the theater, and this is one of those key aspects that I believe, and I'm sure you do as well, is going to help to continue the success of the State Theater.
Absolutely. I've run a lot of theater programs in my time, and what I can tell you is it's the volunteers are the heart of the organization. That's actually something I started really early on in all of our house speeches. We can't do our jobs in nonprofits without volunteers. So every volunteer I am 100% thankful for, and hope that we can find more volunteers. I've got a great marketing street team forming. People who take our posters and flyers and take them not just around Culpeper, they take them all the way out to what I call the four corners of the region. We're working on developing a student advisory board, so students in high school can actually come as volunteers and advise us on programming they want to see. We have recruited new board members. We've got some fantastic individuals coming on board that are representing a younger group, our age group, and as well as...
Oh, you called me younger.
I did.
Oh, you're so nice.
You're welcome. But we're looking for a great diversity of board members. We're getting some people from outside the region so that they can look in and say, well, let me give you some insight. So we're looking to strengthen our board. And we have a great board advisor, another volunteer, a man named Joe Grills, who I think is well known in the area. But he stepped forward in December and said, I think you all should stay open, and I'm willing to help your board transition into that fundraising arm of the organization to make sure the State Theater meets its goal of sustainability. Well,
and as we've spoken about in previous programs, becoming that regional arts venue, and here you are talking about going to those four corners and getting individuals involved from outside the Culpeper area as well as inside. I think there's a lot going on. There's a lot of play here for the success of the theater, but I think it's all moving in the right direction.
Well, thank you. Every day I wake up going, all right, keep it going, keep it going straight ahead. Actually, Mr. Grills gave a great quote. We do not plan for failure. We only plan for success. And so that's kind of my mantra every morning of just plan for success and it will happen. So.
Well, as we plan for success in the month of February, I love the segues, good segues. As we plan for the success for February, one of the things we like to spotlight here on the program, hence the name, is what's coming up in February.
Absolutely.
It's a brand new month, brand new theater.
It is.
I'm excited, and I'm sure once folks hear what's coming up this month, they'll be excited as well.
Yep. We don't have it coming up, but CRI has Downtown Carnival on Saturday. We're very excited. I'm very excited. The food around town is just going to be phenomenal.
Yes, so absolutely.
If I can get away from the State Theater, you'll find me at a restaurant. So we are actually, from 10 to 2, we are having an open house. We're inviting all of our friends to come to the State Theater. A lot of people have never been in the State Theater, so we're specifically asking people who've never been to come on out to the State Theater. We're doing tours every 30 minutes. You can go on stage, you can go backstage, you can even go into the freshly painted green room, thanks to the Eastern View High School football team.
Hey.
And I want to really thank Trip Butler, who helped organize that, and we freshened up our green room for all of our fantastic acts that are coming in, so it'll look amazing. And then you can finish the tour by stopping by one of our 2 educational spaces and participating in an improv class. So, which is foreshadowing our new education program.
Oh, really?
So yes, you can also come and buy tickets because we've got an entire February lineup ready to go. You can look at some art from the Winmore Foundation. They're running a small fundraiser art show for their organization, their scholarship fund. So there's lots to do at the State Theater. Come on out. The neatest thing I think that's going to happen during open house is we're having a post-it forum.
A post-it.
A post-it forum, all rights reserved. We are going to have post-it notes available, and we are asking the public to come out and write some feedback and post it on our wall.
Oh, really?
Yes, we would. Part of my vision that I can say it's really personally for me is in the spirit of transparency. It's also about the spirit of feedback. We are looking for people to tell us what they want, and we're going to do our best to provide that. So by all means, stop by, leave a post-it about programming, about education, about pricing, whatever you want to do, and we're going to take that feedback seriously. We've actually been, for a week, been running an online survey as well. So if you're not able to get out to the State Theater, you can always go to our Facebook page, find the survey, and take the survey. And we are sincerely looking at all that feedback to kind of aim how we are programming the State Theater.
I really love how the thread of communication is weaving its way through the entire discussion. Very nice.
Well, some people say I talk too much.
Well, I'm here to rein you back in. But again, this is all taking place at the open house on February 6th during Carnival. But that's not all you have. That
Oh
day.
no, of course not.
There's more.
There's more. We're very proud to be bringing back a very popular act for Culpeper, Terrence Simeon and the Zydeco Experience. So come out and get your Creole groove on. I felt a little Muppet right there.
It was interesting. I've never seen a Creole groove, but I see it and I
that
like
might be
it.
there. So Terrence is coming back. He's every time he's been here, people love it. We're encouraging everybody to come out. Tickets are available, and we have a new ticketing structure at the State Theater. So I would like to take the moment to explain that.
Oh, ticketing structure.
We realized that we really need to base our tickets on how other professional venues do that. So the front orchestra will be a little different in pricing than the rear orchestra, which will be a little different in pricing than the balcony for reserved-based events. So for Terrence Simeon, $40 for the front orchestra, $30 for the rear orchestra, and $20 for the balcony.
Oh, okay.
So just a little bit of difference. I think that it makes it also more affordable. I know one of the biggest feedbacks we got in the State Theater during 2015 is not everybody can afford the State Theater. So I believe arts are for everyone. So we adjusted our ticketing for that, and so people can come out and enjoy the show, and hopefully it's in their price range.
Well, I think it's a great idea, and I know it's going to be a wonderful show.
But wait, there's more.
Do tell.
On
do
ticketing
tell.
just alone. One of the things that, I come from a performing arts background, and I remember being a student and not being able to always afford the $20, $30, $40, $100 Broadway tickets when I would go. And Broadway started a tradition, and other theaters picked up on it, that they would give day of tickets, rush tickets. We noticed that we have 10 tickets in the back rear orchestra that are our least sold seats. So we're actually doing a new program for the year called 10 for 10. Meaning the rear 10 seats are $10 cash the day of the show. So I only got 10 of them, but if there's someone out there who's going to look at me and say, I can't afford the State Theater, yes, you can. So for Terrence Simeon, will be the first 10 for 10. Again, $10, rear orchestra, cash, day of show. Come to the box office and get your tickets.
I think that's a wonderful idea.
Well, thank you.
That is a wonderful idea. And again, talking back, using that feedback that you've had before,
Absolutely.
and implementing it.
Well, the vision of the State Theater is showcasing the arts to everyone, and the everyone piece means that we have to be able to make sure that if someone truly wants to attend, they can afford it.
That's That's great. I think it's a wonderful idea and a great way to start our February. And that's just this weekend.
That's just the first weekend.
Please tell me more.
Well, the next thing up is something for our teens in town. It's actually called the Teen Takeover. And I know people are like, seriously? And I was like, yes. DJ Nate Clancy, who also happens to be our school board chair, has volunteered his services, and we're going to be holding a dance for 13 to 18-year-olds. $10 on the State Theater stage.
That's neat.
We already have, so we've got our DJ. Of course, we've got a great lighting system. Dan Wilderman and our new lighting associate, a great kid named Cole Nikolai, are already planning all the lighting effects. It's awesome. It's like I was in the booth with them yesterday. And they were talking through it. It's going to be exciting. So we're going to set up the stage, the whole State Theater for just a dance, just a community dance. Come on out, get your groove on, dance in the lights. It'll be awesome. We are working with not only State Theater staff and a lot of our volunteers to be chaperones. So I know parents were a little concerned about that. There's communication with some other organizations to also chaperone, and more information will be forthcoming as those agreements are made. We've also reached out to the school's SCAs, because it's not just for the State Theater. We also want the kids to be invested. So the Eastern View Student Government Association, and hopefully the Culpeper High School one as well, will actually be doing a pizza fundraiser at the State Theater as well. So the event at the State Theater is not just benefiting the State Theater, it's also benefiting our school government associations.
And that again is the 12th, and what time is that?
That is Friday the 12th. The dance is at 7 o'clock, and it's $10 a person.
Now, you called me younger earlier, but I don't think we're going to be in that classification.
You and I are not in that classification, but you know what, John? We're still looking for volunteer chaperones.
Hey.
And if you want to come by and have some
I might have some pizza and dance a little bit. They'll probably kick me off the dance floor. I'm pretty sure about that.
We're not even going to let you on it. So
that's probably it's probably your best bet.
There you go. So, but again, showcasing the arts to everyone. Everyone means also our young adult population. It's their State Theater. Those of us who have grown up in the arts, we already appreciate it. I want, personally, I do want the teenagers of Culpeper and all the surrounding counties to know this is their space too. And so we would love to see them come on out.
And that is a perfect example of that. Their Teen Takeover.
Teen Takeover. S-T in the state, Teen, A-T, Takeover, E.
I'm probably going to put that on the screen.
That's fine. I'll send you the graphic, man. That's cool.
All right, so that weekend is not finished.
Nope,
we have a Teen
not at all.
Takeover, and then that's kind of getting into a little romance in the area.
It is. So on the 13th, Saturday the 13th, we are having Valentine's Date Night Casablanca. And we had a large discussion. What's the most romantic film we can think of? And Casablanca was it. It's $15 if you're single, $25 if you're a couple. With either ticket, you get a red rose or a colored rose, your preference. You can pick online. And a box of chocolate. Oh, and the red rose is coming from Shenandoah Garden Spot. Or the roses are coming from Shenandoah Garden Spot. And you get 2 chocolates from Mark over at the Frenchman's Corner. We will have a special bubbly for the evening, a little sparkling wine for folks that want to add that to their experience. And we will be showing Casablanca both at 3 p.m. for the early birds and at 8 p.m. for those who want to grab a great meal downtown and then come over and have a wonderful Valentine's date night with their Valentine. So there you go. And as far as a Valentine's Day weekend, I just think, here's looking at you, kid.
Oh, I knew. I was waiting to see which rhyme was going to come
quote.
out.
Yeah, I was too.
I think it was pretty good.
It was the moment.
It was pretty good.
So we encourage, again, and it doesn't have to be, I ran into some wonderful ladies in the Raven's Nest the other day, and they're like, do we have to bring our husbands? I'm like,
no, not at all.
If a group of well-meaning young women want to show up all dressed up and sit and drink a little sparkling wine and enjoy chocolates and their roses, by all means, bring a group, leave the husbands at home, and come on out and support the State Theater
And-
at Valentine's Date Night.
Yeah, what a great, thank you for the date night. Thank you for the idea, and what a great partnership that's going to be.
Do I need to reserve your $25 tickets now, John?
Well, I can't, I have to surprise the wife. She's going to watch the show, so I'll say no right now.
Understood, John.
Thank you, Steve. So as we move on through February, we are continuing along with this success. What's next?
What's next is we are, again, partnering with Teddy Dio, and a new forum he put up on Facebook was Piedmont's Local Talent. So we are reformatting our open mic night called Piedmont's Local Talent Presents Open Mic Night. We had some great success in October and November. We are still looking for folks to call and sign up, and if they would like to sign up, if they're a musician, you can look at all the details on our Facebook page and our website. But basically, it's two songs or 10 minutes, an acoustic set. You can email us at events@culpeppertheater.org, and that can help us put together the lineup for open mic night. Otherwise, folks can come on out on Thursday night, February 18th at 7 p.m. It's $5 to get in the door. We do it in our gallery lobby downstairs. And it's a really wonderful opportunity to support local talent, which is a huge part of the mission statement of the State Theater, and to watch people who are growing in talents get better and better. You never know when you're watching the next Alex Caruso or Mo Saffron. So we're there to provide that space for our local Piedmont talent to grow and nurture themselves.
And you've had really great response to open mic night so far.
You know, it takes all types of programming, and we want to be the community arts center. We want people to come to appreciate. I know we have lots of venues downtown that have local musicians, but sometimes you can't hear them over the conversations and the food being served. You know, open mic night is a place, if you really want to come and appreciate that musician skill, come on out and appreciate that musician skill. We're really excited that this is kicking off our Bluegrass series, and to put a new sort of fun part of this, the State Theater is going to commit to being Virginia's winter home for bluegrass. So all the bluegrass acts out there, hear me now, contact me. We are going to build over the next year and a half, because it's going to take that long, to be, as I said, Virginia's winter home for bluegrass. We know there's a wonderful bluegrass supportive audience out there, and we think we've got the best venue for it during the winter. During the summer, they all want to go outside. That's fine. But during the winter, come to the State Theater. And so we're very happy to kick off that entire series, the Bluegrass series, with a local favorite, Dark Hollow Bluegrass Band. They're coming on out, and not only are they coming on out to play the State Theater Saturday the 20th, they're doing it as a benefit to the State Theater. So they aren't taking any of the proceeds. The entire box office comes back to the State Theater.
And this is one of those events that's going towards your fundraising goal for the year.
Absolutely. So this, because it's a benefit, all of the proceeds go into 2016's development fund, so that we can continue bidding out some of those amazing acts that are coming in the remainder of the year.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. It's been a very interesting part of my experience to start contacting all of these agents and trying to get some of these acts. I can't, of course, mention anything right now because we don't have any of the contracts signed, but a lot of the feedback we're getting from earlier, as well as the current online survey, we are using to help look for acts and bid acts. With Dark Hollow, we also have a special promotion going on for that weekend. Now, I'm working on some really great bluegrass acts for March, April, and May. And an enticement to come on out and support Dark Hollow in their benefit concert for us is you can win a whole season of bluegrass, at least the spring season.
Sounds good to me. So again, that date and time for the Dark Hollow benefit
Saturday,
concert?
February 20th, 8 p.m. It's a little bit of a later show. And those tickets are $30 for the front orchestra, $20 for the rear orchestra, and $10 for the balcony.
All right, so February is a shorter month, but we still have more events at the theater. What's next?
We do. So moving into the next weekend, We heard from everybody. This was a huge part of feedback that we were working hard on. But Motown and More, a tribute to the soul legends, is coming to the State Theater. So,
not Motown. I can definitely get behind that.
yeah, Motown. We had a lot of people asking for it. We just had to find the right act. We found the right act. So come on out and hear all those from everything Berry Gordy ever put on stage. You got Diana Ross. You got the Four Tops. You've got, just all those fantastic acts ready to perform.
Kind of wrapped up in one.
Wrapped up in one. It's great. We have some great vocalists coming in. They've actually been sellouts in other regional venues, including the Birchmere. So we're really excited to have them. Come on out Friday, February 26th, end of the month, 8 o'clock. Again, those tickets are back to being 40, 30, and 20. 40 for the front orchestra, 30 for the rear orchestra, 20 for the balcony, and day of we will have the rear 10 for 10 seats available.
I love it. So as we wrap up the month of February, a shorter month, still packed full of events, what do we have next?
We have the return of the semi-annual Virginia Piedmont Gaming Tournament.
Hey.
There you go. So another thing, not just for teens, we take all players 10 or 11 on up. Check the website for details. We are having another Super Smash Brothers tournament. So like I said, 10 to 11 on up. We'll have 2 brackets, one for younger players, one for older players. A cash prize for this one. So come on out. It's an all-day event. We're very thankful to have a partnership with GameStop. They allow us to use the equipment, and we get to run a massive gaming tournament. The game is Super Smash Brothers. It's played on the Wii U, so bring your Wii U controllers. And it goes from 9 in the morning till roughly 5 in the afternoon. And the best part of the tournament is the final game, the final rounds, are played on the biggest screen in Culpeper. So we've got one person on balcony left, one person on balcony right, all the other players down in the audience watching, and literally we're playing the video games on the State Theater screen.
That's, I used to be a pretty big gamer, and I always dreamed about doing that. And here, kids in our community, well, kids of all ages, to be honest with you, have this opportunity, and it's something that is extremely unique and something that they will never forget.
Absolutely. And so it's not only is it fun for the kids to play the games, but it's really a way for us to partner with the entire area and create a draw for the community.
Well, I'm gonna sound like a little bit of a broken record, but I'm gonna go with it. I mean, every single time that we sit down and do this show, and obviously we are through the month of February in 2016, but every time we sit back, or I sit back and reflect upon the events that you brought to Culpeper, I'm always astounded how it is so different, but yet it's the same. Reaching out to the community, showcasing the arts to everyone. It's not just one genre. I mean, we're talking open mic night, gaming tournament, date movie, bluegrass. It is exactly what when we sat here and we talked about the future, the mission statement, the vision, it is exactly what we spoke about in that very first show, coming to fruition continuously every single month at the State Theater.
Absolutely.
I think this is fantastic.
Our mission statement is to deliver the arts to our community in a way that is inclusive, accessible, and sustainable. I think in the last month or two, we've focused a lot about our sustainability, and trust me, it's something we always have to worry about in the arts in general. Having been in the arts for 20 years, I can tell you the performing arts is one of those particular things that it deals in a nonprofit world where at least 50% of our funding is because of donors. But we can't neglect that part of our mission, and the parts of our mission that are inclusive and accessible. The arts are for everyone, so we have to make sure we're giving them to everyone. There are some people who say, well, you should just focus on one genre and build your brand around that. We are focusing on that. We know what sells, and we're going to build that up as well. But we also have to be able to include our entire community, because when someone feels excluded, they don't participate. But when they feel included, they're willing to try something else out. And so it's our way of developing a stronger base of an audience, not just locally, but regionally, so that this really becomes, like I said, an attraction for Culpeper, so that when people are saying, well, what are you doing this weekend? Oh, I'm going to Culpeper. They got a show, and this thing's going on, that thing's going on. It makes our community stronger by us having that diversity.
I love that insight, and I'm probably going to snip that out and replay it about 100 times.
That's fantastic. I'll take it.
Well, we're coming to the end of our program for February, but before we leave, we want to talk a little bit about what's next.
What do you mean? There's nothing more, John.
Well, I was hoping maybe you could give us a little. I mean, there's a lot going on.
Oh wait, there's supposed to be more?
Oh wait, there has to be more.
There is more.
Fantastic.
The biggest thing I'm really excited to announce is that we are going to be introducing a full-blown education program at the State Theater. So not only will we've been having students come for field trips, which we're very excited about. It's actually something I forgot to mention as we were going through things, is February 16th and 17th, our older schools, middle school and high schools, have the opportunity to come and see Barter Theater's production of Antigone. It's at 11 o'clock. So for all of the homeschool groups out there, if you get in contact with me at education@culpepertheater.org, we still have plenty of seats available, and we'd love for you to come see it. It's a classic Greek tragedy about an individual's right versus the community. Deep. Those Greeks, they know how to do deep stuff. But that's one aspect of the education program we've been happy to do. So State Theater Education Programs, STEP. I like putting the P on that. STEP is our education programming initiative. But beyond field trips, we're actually instituting the classes and camps. So in March, April, and May, you'll be able to come and take a theater class in acting or improv, also in auditioning. Even we have a little bit of stage combat as well in there. You'll be able to come and take a class for an hour and a half at the State Theater. There are 8 class sessions, I think that's right. And these are from people who have backgrounds in the arts, in theater. So we have 3 new teaching artists on staff part-time that are there to teach all ages. So from toddler on up, we will have classes for people to participate in the arts. Not just theater classes. I'm talking to some musicians who want to give some lessons. Also talking to some visual artists who also want to share their mediums that they work in with people who are interested and want to take classes there. Mm-hmm. So when I talk about the State Theater becoming a regional arts center, it's also becoming a regional arts center for education. So we're going to be building that whole program. And so again, you'll be able to take classes March through May, and then parents should be excited to hear that there will be a summer camp program running at the State Theater. And all of that information we hope to have ready by open house. It's what I have to go back and type furiously into the computer and get ready. But we're very excited because it is something that is going to not only enhance our community, it helps us out. It keeps our building active and keeps, for lack of, a better term, it brings money into the door so we can keep the doors open. But I'm very proud of being able to put into place an education program that's going to serve the entire region, not just Culpeper, but anybody who wants to come to the classes and take a class at the State Theater. We will be building that program for you.
Well, when a little while back, I had the opportunity to be in there when the kids came in. The enthusiasm on their faces, they came in the door, and the enthusiasm that continued on when they were in their seats, having the discussion, getting ready for the performance. It is wonderful to see that this program is building and continuing and becoming, having more depth. And I think it's going to be really interesting to see the development of that program throughout the months.
Absolutely. It just helps us be a better Culpeper and a better Piedmont region. So that's what the arts are, and that's why we're going to teach them. And we do not plan for failure. We only plan for success. So we're planning for a very successful program.
Well, with what you have going on right now and the steps that the State Theater is taking,
I like what you did there. The steps the State Theater is taking. Good.
Well, you were certainly planning for success, and I, for one, will probably echo the sentiment of many. We are really excited to see what the future will hold.
Well, thank you. We are doing our best.
Well, again, Stephen, thank you so much for coming out today. It's been really, really fun.
Well, thank you for having me.
And I'm really excited to see what's next in 2016.
We're doing our best, and we've got your tickets waiting.
Showcasing the arts to everyone.
Absolutely.
All right, folks, again, we've had a great time today. We hope you enjoyed yourself as well. Don't forget, we've had a lot of contact information. Please use it and be involved in your community state theater. Until we see you at one of the next many wonderful events at our state theater, you have yourselves a great day and, of course, a better tomorrow.